Hey, everybody. So, today we're going to talk about Hamlet Act 1, Scene 5. It's the last scene in Act 1, and while it's short, man, is it important. It's a significant scene. In fact, it's probably the most significant scene in this entire act. So, we're, we're back with Hamlet. Laertes has gotten on the boat, we presume, and we're away from Polonius's house, and now we're back on the castle walls with Hamlet, Marcellus, and Horatio. Now, if you remember, Marcellus, Hamlet, and Horatio were waiting for the ghost, and the ghost appeared and asked Hamlet to follow it. Well, it beckoned for Hamlet to follow it. It didn't say anything. Um, so Hamlet follows the ghost. And so now in scene 5, Hamlet is alone with the ghost. And when Hamlet and the ghost get alone for the first time, the ghost will speak. And the ghost tells Hamlet everything. It spills the beans. According to the ghost, King Hamlet, Hamlet Sr., was sleeping in his garden as he was regularly wont to do. That was one of his favorite things, was to just roam around his garden and take a nap here and there. So he was doing that one day, and as he was sleeping on one of the benches in his garden, his brother Claudius snuck in and poured poison in his ear, killing him. Now and then he left, and everybody who found the king swore that they thought that he died natural causes. And Claudius got away with it. And the ghost then throws shade on his wife, saying that basically she has been very inappropriate, to put it mildly, by marrying her brother-in-law, and for doing so just a month or two after the funeral. The ghost is pretty livid about this. The ghost is like, how dare she? She has basically destroyed the reputation of their loving marriage. See, everybody thought that King Hamlet and Queen Gertrude had this beautiful fairy tale marriage and love, and that's what everybody thought. But according to the ghost, he's like, well, I guess not, if she's so quick to jump in bed with somebody else. Not only somebody else, but someone she's related to, so quick after my death. I guess that was all a sham. Shame on her. And he's pretty pissed at her. So then the ghost tells Hamlet, I order you to get revenge. Don't let the crown be perverted or corrupted any further by this murderous, incestuous king. And so the ghost tells Hamlet, I order you to get revenge. Now, I don't care how you do it. You can do it however you want, just get revenge. But, and this is very important, one rule. Do what you want to Claudius, get your revenge. Do not mess with your mother. Don't touch her. Don't hurt her psychologically. Don't hurt her mentally, emotionally, physically. Leave your mother alone. Let her conscience and the truth of what she's done, let that eat away at her soul, and eventually she will wake up and come to grips with what she's done, and she will repent. Leave your mother alone. So, the ghost mentions to Hamlet also that he is in purgatory, and that he has been granted kind of a leave of absence, if you will, to go tell Hamlet this information. But as the rooster starts to crow, the ghost is like, well, that's my time, I gotta go. And Hamlet is beside himself with a huge mix of emotion. On the one hand, he doesn't want his father to go. He's like, Dad, come back, I don't want to lose you again. He loves his father. And on the other hand, his anger at his mother for what his mother has done with the incestuous, inappropriate relationship, that just bubbles over. And man, he goes into a rage about his uncle. He is absolutely furious at his uncle for what his uncle has done. He is, I mean, bloodlust rage. Um, so now he's got nothing but murderous hate for Claudius and absolute contempt for his mother. And he's already plotting what kind of revenge he's going to get. Now, around this time, Horatio and Marcellus, now remember, they tried to follow Hamlet when Hamlet ran off. And so they've been looking for him this entire time. And they finally find him, and he spills the beans. He tells Marcellus and Horatio what the ghost said. And as he's talking, he tells them, "Swear to me, swear on my sword, make an oath that you will not tell anyone about what I just told you." And as he's making them swear this, the ghost speaks to them for the first and only time. And the ghost is like, "Swear it." And they're like, "Oh my God, the ghost is talking." And they're looking around and they're freaking out. And so Hamlet pulls out his sword and he holds it in front of him. And he's like, "Swear on my sword." And so Marcellus and Horatio grab his sword and they swear to keep this whole thing secret. While they're doing this, Hamlet turns to Horatio and he tells Horatio one added bit of information that now only Hamlet and Horatio will know. And he tells Horatio, "I am going to pretend to be insane from here on out. Do not tell anyone, and do not let anyone know that you know any differently about my insanity. Keep it secret." And Horatio swears to obey. And this is going to set up the rest of the play. From here on out, 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Hamlet is going to pretend to be insane. And he has to do it 24/7 because he doesn't know who's watching from this moment forward and who's spying on him and when. So he's got to be on his game 24/7. Now, as you can imagine, after doing this for a while, it's going to start to eat away at him. It's going to start to wear on him. And he's going to start to actually go insane. Now, some critics believe that by the end of this play, that Hamlet has legitimately gone insane. Some critics believe that he was pretending the whole time. I take kind of a middle of the road approach. I think that while he hadn't gone full blown insane, I think he was not right in the head by the end. I think it was starting to eat away at him. You have to remember that from this point to the end of the play, we're talking about a 9-month span of time that Hamlet has to pretend to be insane 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 9 months. That's a long time to pretend. And as you know, if you pretend to be something or do something long enough, it'll start to actually be real to you. So I do think that Hamlet was pretending at the beginning, but by the end, he's not all there. And so this is going to lead to a bunch of repercussions. Now, I mentioned before that Polonius is a gossip. He loves the sound of his own voice. He loves to give everyone advice, whether they want to hear it or not, and he loves to butt into everybody's business. Hamlet knows this. Hamlet also knows that his girlfriend is incredibly loyal to her father. So, he knows that whatever he tells Ophelia, she is going to tell her father. And whatever you tell her father, he is going to tell literally everybody. So Hamlet wants to get the news out that he is insane, and he wants the most amount of people to know it or believe it as soon as possible. So who do you think is the best person to tell? That's right. He's going to go first and tell Ophelia. If he can convince Ophelia that he's insane, he can convince anybody. And if he can convince Ophelia that he's insane, he knows that she will tell her father out of obligation, and her father will tell literally everyone because he can't help himself. So Hamlet knows the best way to spread this gossip that he's gone insane is to tell his girlfriend and convince his girlfriend first. So that'll be the first thing that we see in the next act.